I'm Bree Johnson, Heart and Bones Yoga. If you love these tutorials, if you love moving in a sustainable way, a wonderful way for your body, press subscribe so that you can stay connected to all the videos that we post here. Now let's get into this. Let's go on to our hands and our knees. And from the hands and knees, you're going to have your hands about shoulder width apart, knees about pelvis width apart, and take a few moments and just tuck and tilt your pelvis, because I want you to get a sense of your pelvis and how it can move, right? So we're just going to do a little pelvic tuck and then a pelvic tilt. So tuck the tailbone down a bit and then untuck it. All right, and then see if you can find the space between both the tuck and the tilt. Where's that middle ground between those two movements? And see if you can find that and keep it there. Now I'm going to take my right leg and move it back behind me. I'm going to stretch it behind me. And that's hip extension. When your leg moves behind you, moves away from your pelvis. But we're going to add on to this hip extension to make it even more wonderful for us. The next layer that you're going to do is lift that leg up. Now I could lift my leg up higher, but the only way that I can get my leg this high is because I am using my pelvis and my lumbar spine to help hinge my leg a little further. What we're looking for to get the most benefits out of our hip extension is to not let your pelvis and lumbar spine move. We want to try to get the pelvis and lumbar spine to stay as neutral and still as possible so that we're driving all the movement into the hip joint itself, and that's where we get the most benefits. So let's try that again. Let's extend the leg back. I'm going to start with my toes tucked. Think about keeping a fairly neutral pelvis, and I'm going to allow my leg to lift up. And I'm going to stop when I feel like my pelvis wants to lift the leg, right? So I keep my ribs, I keep my pelvis still, and I find that boundary. I find what I like to call a sweet spot, that place where I can't really move my leg any higher unless my lower back and pelvis moved. I keep my leg and I keep my pelvis there, and we're going to hold this and really actively stretch out through your heel, reach that heel back, and then slowly lower. And now let's switch legs. Bring your other leg up, and then I want you to try it a few times just so that you really get a sense of the movement. See how when you lift and lower your leg a few times like this, how much can you move just your leg and not the pelvis itself. And I highly recommend, if you're having a hard time getting a sense of what's going on, is looking in a mirror. Or you can use a yoga block or something that you can rest on your lower back, just so you have that biofeedback, that sense of, okay, what's my pelvis doing here? Now, the benefits of this are, if you're doing this with me, I hope you're noticing right away how much the muscles at the back of your legs are really working and holding on here. So this is wonderful. This is going to really strengthen your posterior chain. It's going to make those, so not just awakening into your hip joints, but the muscles that help move your leg into hip extension. So think about, as you move away from this lesson and try to incorporate this into your everyday life, I highly recommend thinking about hip extension more as a truer movement of your thigh bone away from your pelvis. Try not to let your pelvis and low back do all the movement for you when you do hip extension. So try it like we did. Try it in the other two videos as well that I've got linked here, and you can see how all three movements are the same. All three videos, we're doing the same movement, but in three different ways. So you can see how much benefit we have on such a simple movement. I hope you enjoy that. If you want more of this, if you want to really see what this looks like in a yoga practice, not just a quick tutorial like this, head over to heartandbonesyoga.com, where you'll find our online yoga studio. Sign up. Tons of yoga videos and classes like this that are all about building sustainability in your body, having your body feel good for as long as you can. So I hope to see you over there inside the online studio. Otherwise, don't forget to press that subscribe button and share this with the world. Thanks, everyone.